such an asshole.
Hello, children. We got a question we've wrestled with in the past before, and as I've gone older, I don't have an answer to it because I don't believe there is an answer to it. So I kind of let it go and approach it from a different way so it can be addressed but not solved, if that makes any sense. But we'll continue on because, as I forecasted before, many of you, if you play your cards right, are going to end up in this position. Hello, Cap. I'm a 23-year-old man who made it, and I really don't know what to do. Quick life story: grew up with good parents who did not understand money. They were lower class in a place. We were on EBT and food stamps, so I had to learn how money works on my own a bit. You know what's interesting is because you had to learn that on your own, you are probably doing very well. Like their poverty ended is a cause for your success. In other words, if you had this all handed to you, you won't be where you are now. So I had to learn how money works on my own a bit. Mom and dad divorced when I was 3, but dad wanted to be in my life and made the effort to be. Mom married another man years later when I was 8. Me and him didn't get along as he thought you had to fight your dad to be a man, and I already had a dad who was a positive real male role model. I'll fight him anyway. After high school, I went to the Navy and IT. I got to travel the world and really enjoyed it, but there wasn't enough money for me to stay in when I knew I could make more money on the outside. So I left the base and moved to what the hell's that? I don't know what DMV is. I know Department of Motor Vehicles is bad. Is that you make it sound like it's a geographic location. After I got a job for 6 figures, my job is easy. My company doesn't bother me unless it's important. All my coworkers are cool. We get along well. My finances are good minus my car loan. Well, there's something to do. I'm looking for something to do. Pay off your car loan. That'll take a couple months, which I'm actively paying off. It's my one vice. I currently rent an apartment and getting ready to buy a house with a VA loan or to start college for free on my military service. Well, I keep telling people to join the military, and people keep telling me that I'm an idiot to tell people to join the military. Yet then I keep seeing these guys join the military. And, what do I do? I got like a 1.7% mortgage, and I'm buying a house, and I make 6 figures. The military paid for it all. Oh, you had to worship whatever, the trans flag a little bit. Oh, boo-hoo. I'm not saying you guys go make your career in the military. That's not for anyone who's hardworking. That's strictly for minority and affirmative action hires now. That's every place. But if they're going to pay for your tuition, oh, yeah, I love the trans dick. Sure. Yeah. Oh, Captain Suckawut. Thank you very much, Captain Suckawut. You're my favorite. Yes. Oh, what? Protect the borders and fight enemies, both foreign and domestic? No, we gotta watch some prawn. Am I right? All my family and friends said I've made it and gone that extra mile, but I don't feel like I've done anything. Oh, hey, here. I know it's like Survivor's Guild, kinda. You really didn't do anything. You know what you did? This is the key to success, man. This is the key to success. You just don't F up. That's old school. That's old advice. I think you even got that in, I don't know, Bachelor Pad Economics or How Not to Become a Millennial. Just don't F up. Like, hear me out. All the poor people in the world, what if they just didn't have kids they couldn't afford? What if they didn't start doing drugs? What if they spent less than they made? What if you did some like these 3 very simple things that other people do and you don't F up? I'm not saying you got to go into nuclear engineering. I'm not saying you got to become a brain surgeon. I'm not saying you got to work 3 jobs, but come on a journey with me. What if you didn't knock up Becky and LaFonda and LaDasha and Amy and Juanita? What if you just got a vasectomy, had the sex, and then you didn't have no kids? And instead of dealing drugs or doing drugs or both, you, like you did, join the military, got the GI Bill, and then worked as an accountant. What I want, just, I know the Democrats have a much better sounding plan. We just give you free money. No, don't worry. And I'd like to know how that's working for everyone who lives under the Democrat ideology of free money and give me that. How's that working? How is the trailer park? How is the meth out there? Oh, but you didn't screw up. So yeah, you didn't do anything, but you didn't screw up. And that's why you're so successful. I mean, you're not a billionaire, you're not even a millionaire, but you ain't got here's the thing. By comparison to everybody else, you look like a king. And it's because you didn't F up. That's it. You're not special, you're not amazing. It's just compared to most Americans who are inferior, dumbass pieces of shit. Wait a minute. Don't major in philosophy. Don't get my bitch pregnant. Wait, I are confused. Oh, don't spend more than I make. Oh, come on her tits, not inside her vag. I should have a teachable course on that for Wyomingians. That's it. You haven't done anything. You just didn't screw up. That's why you are better by comparison. Thank you for my content. Blah 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 blah. Said military discount. You so you've made it. So now what? Well, that's the thing, buddy. And I'll tell you, you being so young, you're in a good position, which you knew. But let me tell you the problem that's coming. I have told a million times before. Success is merely replacing your current problems with slightly smaller ones. And whereas now it looks like, hey, you're on easy street. You got, you could go, you're going to get your degree. You already got a job. You're going to get your house. Right now, it's about to be the best part of your life because you're so young and you've been in the military or school this entire time. You've never been able to do what you want to do. But now you got the budget to do it. And so there's going to be at least a 10-year period where you get to do whatever you want. I'm going to recommend not drugs. But you traveled with the Navy, but now you get to travel where you want. You get to pick up hobbies. You could go date girls, if they're willing. If they don't want to and they're not willing, here you go to a country where they are. You can play your video games. You can participate in everything. Everything. The world is your oyster. And what's great about, like right now, the world's my oyster too. I have the exact same options on the table. The problem is I'm old and I've done pretty much all of them. You haven't. It's still going to be novel. Your first dance class is that was for me. I mean, I didn't really take dance classes, but I'd show up and they'd have like a little intro how to. That was so long ago, I can't remember. You get to have it for the first time. You get to go fishing wherever it is you want to go fish for the first time. You get to go ride motorcycle, and it's all going to be new, and it's going to be the best. It's going to be fresh out of the oven. And so, buddy, that's what I would do. Whatever you want to do, that's what I would do. Now, as time goes on, they had a phrase for this. People smarter than me in my audience told it to me. It's called the hedonic treadmill. I call it the law of novelty. And that is their novelty is finite. So it doesn't matter if I got Selma Hayek at my house and we're banging like rabbits. By the 5th day, I'm going to be like, Selma, why don't you get the hell out of my house? I'm sick and tired of you right now. And I would like you to leave. I don't hate Selma. I just am tired of Selma. And so I don't care what it is, but it will all get boring in the end. I don't like ballroom dancing anymore. I don't hate it, but unless there's a really good song I like and there's an adequate dance floor and, the stars align just right, I'm not going to dance. Video games start to lose their interest. Of course, most of that is because developers today can't make a video game to save their life. But I'm not as excited playing Halo 5 as I was the first day Halo 1. I've ridden around most of the area on my motorcycle that I want to ride. You've never. So, but the point it's coming where you'll do all these activities and hobbies and things, and you could cycle them out, but the day they will lose their novelty. And then the real problem you're going to face is not only I've made it, but I've done nearly everything. Now what? And that's the challenge that you thankfully and mercifully have at least 10 years out. At least 10 years. I'm just saying, get prepared for it. And also to be aware, like, let's say I can't wait to go travel, and you go travel, and you're like, I should be excited about you. I'm going to my 8th country in 3 months. And you're just like, oh, I gotta hop on the plane again. That's normal. Heed that. You're getting tired of it. Is Thailand really all that different than Laos? Is Bulgaria all that different than Hungary? I don't know. But then it's kind of like, okay, what's the next thing that you got to do? And so you can make it last a while. You have to. You have to make it last until you die. But just so you know, that's coming. Now, while you're traveling around and doing your thing and figuring it out and essentially discovering who you are, because now you get to be and do what you want. So there's going to be a discovery period of who you are and what you want to do. It normally, the way you're wired, unless you're different, it might be your parents got divorced and all, so you might be different. Generally, after an exploratory phase, an adventure phase, you will inevitably genetically want to start having a family. If you've tuned into this show or any other place on the internet that doesn't have its head up its ass, you are aware that most women are rather cool or unreceptive to getting married unless you're an exceptionally good-looking girl, a guy, and even then, there's issues. If that happens as you go through your journeys, you need to ask yourself, seriously, do I want to get married and have kids? Or do I just want to have a family? Because you can have a family and not get married, especially if you're in the United States. If that is the case, you definitely do know that is also a somewhat lengthy process. So while you're going out having fun and enjoying life, if you know you want to get married, toss some thoughts towards it. Start researching, okay, where do you find a quality girl? I would recommend killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Travel to countries where women are more traditional. They're there, but they're dwindling. And just kind of pay attention. You're just here to sample some treats. That's all. You're just here to sample the ice cream. Oh, I really like girls in Indonesia. They may be Muslim, but they're devout and they're demure and they're modest. And they make good food, whatever it is. And there's great ski hills, which I don't think there is in Indonesia. That's just something to consider long-term strategy down the road. And that, thankfully, if you have a successful family, meaning your wife doesn't divorce you, meaning you actually invest and raise your kids, meaning you spend time with your kids and you enjoy them while they're young, and you don't just outsource them to daycare or the public schools, or you whatever it is that most mind, like you actually have a functional family where those kids grow up and they can support themselves, and then they maybe make grandchildren that should take care of your point, purpose, and agency until you're dead. Because then you'll have family, you'll have Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever it is you want to celebrate. Oh my God, the little kid oh man, nieces and nephews. Oh, another one's on the way. Look at this little thing. All right. New football for Cappy to play with. Let's go, football. I know you can't speak, but you can take ice cream. I know that much. They can eat ice cream pretty young. I'm not saying spoil your kids. That's the uncle's job. That's our job. You stay over there. You have to discipline. But you have a family, you especially kids, that will give you a lot of point, purpose, and agency once hang gliding or scuba diving gets boring. And if you're the type that doesn't like kids, which is an increasing amount, I don't know how that happened. How did all these people not want to have kids? Then you really do have your workout for it. And then what I'd strongly recommend, I link to it down below, is the menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. So you've made it, you're going to go have your fun. Then you're like, well, what is there? Things are a little bit more deep, some that a little more you can sink your teeth into. It's listed in the menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. We talk about things like religion, philosophy, travel, adventure, volunteering, camaraderie, things like that. All right, so there we go. Then also link below, got a link to all my courses on Teachable. And then, Turd Flinging Monkeys book. I cannot recommend Driftling Monkey's book, The Way of Monkey book, enough if you're having trouble figuring out where to go in life. We got Hat and Clogs, $2. Love is love, Cappy. Happy Cappy. UWU, Google it. All right, I will. All right, that's it. See you guys later. Toodles.